Let's be honest, fear is everywhere. It's broadcast, streamed, reposted, and served up like a side dish with our morning coffee. From doom scrolling news cycles to anxiety charged headlines, we're immersed in it. And while a little fear might have once helped our ancestors avoid saber toothed tigers, most of what we encounter today is more of the harmful toxic variety than the medicinal tonic variety. I've come to believe fear, of the toxic variety, is not just an emotion, it's a systems level disruptor, like pouring sand into a fine tuned engine. In Hyperdimensional U, I explore how toxic fear operates on two levels. There's the energetic broadcast of the fear we think, feel, and project, and then there's the chemical cascade that follows as our bodies churn out stress hormones like they're going out of style. The big problem lies in just how often we allow our primal brain amygdala to slam the panic button. We're not built to constantly marinate in fight or flight mode, yet our environment constantly encourages just that. This chronic toxic fear stress state wears us down physically, dulls our decision making, and hijacks our emotional balance. If toxic fear were a guest at your party, you'd soon ask it to leave, so why would you give it endless free rent in your head and body? I separate fear into two categories. There's tonic fear, the good stuff. It shows up when we're about to push past our comfort zone in a constructive, growing way. When our heart races before a brave move, a conversation that matters, or when we're standing at the edge of the cliff, called growth. Tonic fear is constructive. It's a nudge disguised as nerves. Tonic fear can often be converted to excitement by way of breathing more deeply and choosing excitement. Then there's toxic fear. That's the fear we tend to binge like bad junk food. It's the kind that creeps in when we absorb too much manufactured drama, too many headlines shouting about threats we can't do anything about. This fear isn't asking us to grow, it's asking us to fear, to conform, to play small, to postpone the process of becoming who we truly are. And while it might masquerade as staying informed, what it's really doing is lowering our vibrational frequency, making us easier to manipulate and harder to harmonize with the world around us. It can also dampen our immune system, our health, and our longevity. Fear doesn't stay politely contained within us, it radiates. We're not isolated beings, we're electromagnetic field based creatures living in a quantum connected web. That means every time I stew in fear, I'm also negatively contributing to the collective well being. If enough of us do that, it doesn't just sour the energy around us, it distorts the entire national and global electromagnetic field, attracting more negative timelines. Think of it like sneezing negative energy into the shared metaphysical buffet. Please don't. So, how do we detox from toxic fear? First, stop treating fear like a guest with an open invitation. These days, I handle it more like caffeine, in moderation, and only when it serves me. I've learned to catch myself when my thoughts start drifting toward the panic narrative, and instead of chasing that tailspin, I gently redirect. It's a discipline of a self sovereign mind and well worth the effort. I also do a periodic fear audit. That's where I get honest about the media and entertainment I'm consuming. If something is constantly trying to scare me in a toxic way, I move on. And when my system starts to feel scrambled, I go quiet as part of a video screen fast. A few minutes of stillness and presence, especially with bare feet in the grass, can do wonders, far more than shouting back at the news or arguing with a social media bot. Meditation helps. A simple, consistent thank you placed between my thoughts also helps raise my frequency, attracting more positive timelines. Gratitude also has a funny way of putting fear in the back seat. And when all else fails, I imagine fear as a toddler mid tantrum, loud, dramatic, but usually in need of a nap. This isn't about denying the existence of real danger or the spiritual bypassing of pretending everything's butterflies and rainbows. It's about doing what it takes to show up centered and balanced in an imbalanced world. Few will tell you, but it's the key to it all. When we're centered, when we're anchored in truth, not fearful tremors, we make better decisions. We treat people better. We become more effective in the world rather than just reactive. We get better at creating solutions that stick, as opposed to the ones that create other problems. Like it or not, we're all participating in what I call the shift, a collective migration that will eventually take us away from fear based paradigms and towards something more unified and compassionate. That doesn't mean fear disappears. It just means we learn the skill of managing it from a place of balance instead of letting it manage us. So, the next time fear knocks, what if we don't invite it to stay for dinner? What if we open both the front and back door and let it move on, though, and out? What if we listen to it from a place of balance, equanimity, and discernment rather than judgment, and then bless it on its way? What will it be? The preceding was generated by an AI ghostwriter from Bob Cochran's writing and sampled voice. For more information on Bob's first book, Emerging Imaginal You, a time traveling note to self from the corner of science and spirituality, or his second book, Hyperdimensional You, Surfing the Shift Toward Mastery, check out Clever, the number 2 wise, that's clever2wise.com. On Facebook, search for hashtag Clever2wise. To help this work continue, like and share Bob's YouTube videos, which can be located by searching for @Clever2Wise. To be notified as new videos become available, click subscribe